Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So I got a question, is New York underserved? Good question from Kevin. Underserved by wholesalers. So a couple of things. The important question here is really, first of all, I'm talking about the New York City area. Other parts of New York have plenty of wholesalers, and that's fine. The issue is, are there too few, and does it make it a good place to go? So first of all, I got to explain. Definitely, like in Long Island, my area, there are maybe 7 people who wholesale significantly in any way. And there are some good guys, right? And I would tell people, if you don't use me, you can use Joe Cordes. You can use the Wagners that leave the key. You can use Naman Coker. These are good people who do what they say they're going to do. And if they don't wholesale your deal, then they'll close on it. And then there are jerks, newbies, morons, a-holes, sons of bitches, people that suck. And I really want to tell you who those people are. One of them I probably have to sue right now. And I'd love to talk about him, but I am not going to under the advice of counsel. After I win the suit, and I am going to win the suit, then I'll be happy to talk about this particular asshole. But there are plenty of wholesalers, but most of them are jerks, and most of them will not be in business within a year. And I've discussed why it's difficult in New York, right? You learn about wholesaling, and you think you know what's going on, but the truth is, in New York, there is no inspection contingency, so you have to go hard in a contract, and you have to put down a significant deposit. And a lot of newbies who learn how to do this, or think they know learn how to do this from other places, don't really know how to do it the way it works in New York. So that's what happens. And they start, and then they can't do it. If you're a new wholesaler and you need help, you can partner with me or any of the people I just mentioned. They're good, and we'll put up the money and give you a split of the profits. I don't know what their deal is. My split is, if we wholesale it, you bring me the deal. Even though I put up my money, it's 50-50 split. If I have to close on it, then it's 60-40 in my favor. So the question is does that make New York a good place? Because there's fewer people, fewer wholesalers than other areas. And here's the truth. The truth is, it's one of the big advantages of New York in that there are very few people who know what they're doing, and there's less competition. I would say most of the time when I make an offer, I'm the only one making an offer. That could be due to the data I'm using, which I pay a lot of money for. It could be the way my lead intake team deals with people and how relentless we are, but that's a great thing. But it's also a difficult place to work, and it's hard for me to get sufficient enough leads. It's hard for me to get the lead flow and deal flow that I want. So there's pros and cons to it, and it doesn't mean that in any way you should stay away from it or do it. You just have to understand how it works, and I've done a million videos explaining how it works, why New York is more challenging and why New York is better, right? One of the main reasons is, as we discussed, as I've said many times, because there's less competition. But and you make more money. There's plenty of good reasons to work in New York, but you have to understand that it's different. And if you don't understand those differences, then you're going to be in for a big surprise when you push a contract across the kitchen table to a seller, and he looks at you like you're from outer space, because that is not how it works in New York. So overall, though, in all of Long Island, which is almost 3 million people, I would say there is less than 7 people who have been around any significant amount of time and actually market direct to seller in any significant way. It's it's minimal, right? It's just not a lot. And I'd love to stand in that spot. That's such a good background, but the freaking speaker for the music's there. I gotta turn this way. So you could take that for what it's worth. It's an advantage, and there's tons of advantages to doing business in New York. There's tons of disadvantages to doing business in New York. But are there not enough? There's enough. Most of them are imbeciles, idiots, newbies, jerks, people who never have the ability to close, people who don't even know don't even have an attorney to send you a contract if you agree to them as a seller. So these are the things that you have to set up here. These things you have to look out for. You have to look at somebody who can show proof of funds that they can close, even if they want to wholesale it, if the buyer falls through, that they can close. And you want to deal with people who've done this before. You want to deal with people who have a team behind them, and you don't want to deal with the son of a bitch asshole who I'm suing this week, and hopefully he'll get served multiple times, and will end up having to pay me a significant amount of money because he screwed me over on a deal. I don't want to get into the details, although I want to talk about it so much. I want to talk about it, but my attorney said I shouldn't. So I'll talk about it after I win this case, which, maybe it'll be in a few months max. So that's my thoughts on New York. New York, I'm happy. I'm staying in New York. I'm expanding to other parts of the country, but I'm not leaving New York. I love New York. I really primarily do Nassau and Western Suffolk. I do Queens and Brooklyn, but really mostly Nassau is my main county. I'm very happy with Nassau. There's 1.3 or 4 million people in Nassau, so it's plenty. When I'm talking about how many people there are that are successful, I can probably name a dozen guys that do this in Oklahoma. The whole state has 1 million people. I know 7 or 8 guys who are very successful in Birmingham, Alabama. The whole city is 200,000 people. It's easier in other places. The way real estate is transacted in other places is easier. In New York, it's more difficult. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com or learntoflipandwholesale.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please hit the thumbs up. The likes really help the algorithm, more people seeing my videos. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I almost never know what to talk about. I look at your questions for ideas. And the whole point of this channel is to help you and to answer your questions. So please keep the questions coming. I really appreciate everyone watching. Thank you very, very. Oh, on the comments, you can ask a question about anything. It doesn't have to be about the topic that you're watching a video on. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something that I've covered recently, I'll send you a link to a video on it. And if it's something new or I haven't covered in a while, I'll do a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.